Good evening and welcome to another edition of The Bottom Line. I am so excited that you decided to tune in for another edition. We are moving, I think we're in our 6th month. So this is a very exciting time for The Bottom Line because we are definitely rolling. We're giving you hot topics week in and week out, and we hope that we are keeping you abreast of what's happening in your community, whether you live in Wilmington or in Dover or anywhere in between. We hope that we are touching on topics that directly affect your communities and informing you about what's happening in and around where you live. So today was an absolutely beautiful spring day. Wouldn't you agree? I mean, I've been begging for this weather. We got enough rain, we got enough of the cold. So I think I got a little bit too happy. You see, I got my arms out and it's a little chilly in the studio, so I didn't make the best decision this evening, but I'm gonna try to keep it together. So we're kind of light tonight. We got a few of our co-hosts that have decided to take the evening off, but I'll tell you what, we have not slighted you in the least. We are still going to bring you a power-packed show here at The Bottom Line. So you make sure that you stay tuned and in front of your television this evening because you do not want to miss what we have coming up. So there's a lot of things happening in and around our community. Specifically tonight is the mayor debate, right? Happening over at Ezon Fair. So that's a huge event. A lot of people are in attendance at that event. And our youth, I'm hearing, is really spearheading a movement when it comes to who's going to take that seat. So a lot of action happening over there at Ezon Fair. If you're there already, awesome. And if you're not there, definitely stay tuned so that you can get more information about updates that are happening as we are here on air. So let's not delay you any further. We're going to jump over to Studio A, where our captain, State Rep Charles Potter, is waiting and eager to give you some news that you can use.
Good evening. Welcome to The Bottom Line. Denise says she's a little cold. I say it's a little warm in here. She has her sleeves off. Usually the ladies are usually colder than the guys, and I'm liking that new hairstyle. You know what we got to do? We had to have a hairstyle contest with Denise. Every time she comes in, we'll pick the top hairstyles, and then we'll pick a winner. They all look good. But there's a lot happening. I'm waiting on some reports to come in tonight about the mayor's race, and I'll get an update. You got several candidates. You actually have 8 candidates. You have Kevin Kelly. You have Mike Purzycki, Bobby Marshall, Dennis Williams. You have Eugene Young, Norm Griffiths. Marie Cabrera is a new addition. I want to talk about her in a second. Mm-hmm. And you got Theo Gregory. It's so many, you might miss one. And I probably did miss one, but I'll come back to it. But I think that things will get a little hot and heated with Maria Cabrera in the race. And then, of course, you know, you have an independent who's running, and I'm sure they'll put a Republican candidate. So there's a lot of choices, and, you know, judge yourself accordingly. At the right time, I'll let you know who I'm going to be supporting down the line. We had a really big weekend. If I can get Ivan to put up some pictures, and we had a great weekend. I was hosting, so happy to host for the Democratic Party, for the state party, and the national party. Some people, I'm going to say party, for Hillary Clinton. We had the Honorable former Mayor Nutter here, and you see some pictures right there, Hillary for America, and that was at my office down on 2605 North Broome Street, which was really fantastic. We got so many pictures that they're going to show. We had a lot of elected officials. Of course, we had the former State Treasurer Velda. Hold that picture for 1 minute. Uh-oh, he can go back to it. The picture, not that one, the next one, right there. That's the mayor with my wife, my lovely wife Velda, and my son Charles, one of my sons. Charles is the one who runs the real estate agency. He has his own real estate agency, and he runs the insurance business down on Kirkwood Highway. Mayor Nutter was just exciting. I mean, he talked about a lot of things about Hillary Clinton. And of course, you know, he's the former mayor of Philadelphia. He served in the city council for about 3 terms, and he was a 2-term mayor of Philadelphia, the 98th mayor. He now is on CNN. You can catch him on CNN. And then he's also a professor at Columbia University. So he's doing a lot of great things. And it's really good for Mayor Nutter to come to town. When he came, Alvin, you can start flashing the pictures again. When he came, if you read the news article, we did do some door knocking. We went out right in the neighborhood. We had over close to 200 people come to the event. We had a lot of elected officials. You're probably going to see in some of the pictures. You're going to see County Exec Tom Gordon. Now, let me talk about this picture since he has it up. That was the day. Of course, I've been a little tired running around, but that's me with Debbie Standenbaum. She's a senator from Flint, Michigan, and she's doing a lot of work to make sure Flint, Michigan gets clean water. And she was here today stumping in Delaware for Hillary Clinton to be the next president of United States. So we're getting to meet a lot of people. You can continue running the pictures. You can stop at that one. That's County Exec Tom Gordon. Along on my right, Bethany Hall Long. And there's some pictures in the background of stand-ups of Hillary and our President Barack Obama in the back. We can continue. Right there, there's the Honorable J.J. Johnson, who's a state representative. We had Ty Johnson, one of our co-hosts, who's there, and he's running for city council at large. And Deneen, you can come on and join me. We had Penrose Hollins. That's a shot of the early part of the people starting to gather right there at 2605 North Broome Street. In the yellow, that lady who's always dressy, that's the Honorable Stephanie T. Bolden. You see Julia Seif is there with my campaign manager, Nick the Hat. He's right there with the Potter, that purple and white, everything right. That's Velda, along with myself, and the state person, McGregor, who is running the state to help run the state to elect Hillary Clinton. And she's doing a fantastic job with a young lady by the name of Simone Potts. I want you to take a look at those Potter shirts. Those shirts were designed by my wife with the Potter down the side. And on my chest it says, "Your voice in Dover, and I'm happy to serve." In the middle, I got that big H, not for hero, but for Hillary Clinton. That's me with the little, look like she's right there, huh? With Hillary. Look at her.
I was about to say, yeah.
You like that shot there?
I left too early.
Yes, that's a cutout. But and right there, see, that's a lovely picture with Mayor Nutter, Michael Nutter, and Brianna Teller, who's Chantella Teller, who works with me at the office. In the back is one of my favorite friends. He's looking over, and guess who that is?
Sam Guy.
Sam Guy with the red tie. And that's just a little shot of the war room, and that's another shot of people assembling. Deneen came by that day too. What did you think, Deneen?
I thought it was awesome. I thought it was a great event.
Yeah.
It was well attended. You definitely had a lot of people there.
Yes.
You know, what's funny is when I got there, I'm like greeting, State Rep Bolden and, a few others, and Hanifa Shabazz and a few others over there. And I go up, to say hello to Elder Ty.
I was supposed to turn this phone off.
Busy.
That was one of the reports coming in about the mayor's race, but I'll get back to that. Go ahead.
So I go up to greet Elder Ty, and the gentleman that he's speaking with says, "So what office are you running for?" I said,
"Office?
None.
None.
The office of Deneen White."
Right.
And so I thought that was funny. I was like, wow, people always trying to throw me in politics.
Now, you got to meet Mayor Nutter.
I did.
Right? What did you think about Mayor Nutter?
You know, he's such a humble guy.
Yes, he is.
And he's very approachable. And you
Yes.
always like that in your leaders, right? People that
Right.
are approachable, people that, although they carry this title, this status, that they're people that, because they deal directly with the community that they
Yes.
serve, right? And they serve the community. So the community wants to come and talk to you.
That's
They
right.
want to shake your hand. They want to see what you're about. They voted for you. And I mean, he was an awesome person just
Awesome.
for that brief amount of time that I had to spend with him.
He's
Yeah.
very personable. He has a great spirit around him.
He
You can
does.
call it an aura around him. You know how sometimes you meet people and you just connect. He and I just connected. He came in. I think you were coming through the lot when we were bringing him in.
I
weren't
did.
you? Yeah, you came right in, and we sit down a while. And I don't know if Ivan has a picture of the article in the paper today. I think I sent it to him. And it has a little video on the front. I don't know if we're going to be able to play it. He might be able to do it because he does a great job. He can't play it? Okay. But I want you all to know that on April 26th, that's a very, very important date. That's our primary here in Delaware, and I'm a big supporter of Hillary Clinton. I don't have no problems with Bernie Sanders. You know, I hope that once this thing is over, they join us. But tomorrow, the election in New York, we're hoping that Hillary is successful. She wins tomorrow, and that should just about wrap it up for us. And then to come right here in Delaware to make sure on the 26th, we don't want to take anything for granted. We want you all to get out and vote. If you can't get out and vote right now, today, tomorrow, you get out and get an absentee ballot. You fill that ballot out for Hillary Clinton and submit that. If you're not going to be in town, you can vote absentee right now if you don't think you're going to make it to the polling places. So I'm saying vote for Hillary, and she has the experience, she has the knowledge. She served as a 2-term senator in New York. She was already in the White House with her husband, Bill Clinton, and she's done a good job there. And she's always fought for civil rights, women's rights, equal pay, and she's done a host of volunteer things. Now, Bernie, it's good to talk about education because we all want free education.
Absolutely.
But you got to pay for it. You know, and what she's saying with the increase in the pay wage, people say, why doesn't she go for $15 right now? Well, when you got a Congress that's controlled by majority Republicans, and they don't want to give us more than $12.50. So you know what? You take it. Then you come back for the difference later. I mean, if you just want to sit there and say, I'm going for 15 and fight about it for 4 or 5 years and never get it, what have you accomplished?
Right.
I would do, she's agreed with me.
Yeah, I mean, point well taken. I agree. So Mayor Nutter, he actually pointed out some facts about Hillary, and you know, it's always good to address that first. You
There
know,
you go. Yes.
it's not an emotional thing. It shouldn't be anyway. You know, we should base this off of history, proven, information.
That's right.
And so, so he definitely pointed out some things that I thought would be, beneficial to educate the community about, because a lot of people are not in touch.
That's
you
right.
know, some
Yeah.
people are just looking at it. Oh, well, she's a woman. Yeah, we'll vote for her just because of that. But
Right.
no, that's not enough. You definitely have to do your research and know who you're voting for and why you're voting for them. So when they say go to the poll and vote for Hillary or vote for Bernie or vote for whoever it is that they're pushing, then you need to know why you're going and why you're voting. So what was a few things that he mentioned?
He talked about the fact that education.
Education.
Let's look at education. Hillary wants free education for everybody, but you can say free, but how are you going to pay for it? It has to be paid for. So she supports that, but she just don't want to give you pie in the sky dreams. Women's right and equal pay. I know you want to talk about women's pay, because for every dollar a man makes, women are making $79. You like that, don't you? 79 cents. You like that, huh?
79 cents, right. Let's be clear.
You like that? You think that's fair?
I do think, no, that we make less?
Yeah.
No, I don't think that's fair. That's what I said, right. What are
You
we
said
talking
what?
about? No, I don't think that's fair. Absolutely, I'm in agreement that women should make an equal amount of pay as a man, because we bring just as much value to the table.
Okay.
So women, we have just as much education. We actually probably contribute a little bit more in some respects.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. There's just something that a woman brings that a man can't bring to the table.
I agree with that, the nourishing and all of that. But, actually, when it comes down to it, women keep us in line, because we kind of get a little crazy. Like, wait a minute, rein it back in here,
Yeah.
But let me give them some facts again,
let's
some
give some
updates
facts.
here. Right now on Real Clear Politics, as I mentioned, the total delegates needed to win is 2,382. To date, Hillary Clinton has 1,758 delegates. Bernie Sanders has 1,076. Now, when you look at New York, what's taking place in New York, there's 247 delegates and 44 superdelegates. So I feel pretty good about Hillary going into New York and the other 5 states, and I believe tomorrow Hillary will win by at least 10 percentage points. I don't care if she wins by 1% or 2%, as long as she wins and get the majority of delegates.
A win is a win. Yeah.
Then the next race will be in Maryland, where there's 95 delegates. That'll take place on April 26th, along with Delaware, April 26th. Here in Delaware, we have 21 regular delegates, 10 super delegates, so a total of 31. Also on April 26th is Pennsylvania at 189 delegates and 21 super delegates. So April 26th is going to be a big night, but tomorrow's going to be a big night. So are you getting out to vote?
Absolutely.
Okay, all right. Who are you voting for? You don't have to tell me. I'm just messing with
I'm a little offended that I got asked that question.
I know she is.
Absolutely, I'm a vote.
Yeah. Well, we enjoyed knocking on doors yesterday. We got to meet a lot of people. There's some pictures in the paper. I don't know if we're going to be able to pull them up. But we're going to come back a little later and put a number up on the phone and see what you think about the upcoming presidential election or whatever election you want to talk about. In the meantime, we're going to get ready and go over to our sports guy if he's ready, and we're going to talk to Ed a bit. But before we do that, I don't know if Ivan has, there was a big home fair here in Delaware on Saturday at the Chase Center. It was held by the Delaware State Housing Authority. I mean, it was huge. You had all types of realtors. This is one picture that I took with my son, State Rep Bolden, and some children there at the home fair. And they had 4, okay, I'm gonna stop right there. This is the display we had. Potter's Realtors. And that's my son, Charles. I'm very proud of him. He has his own brokerage company, of course, and I work with him. And if you need to buy, sell home or property management, give Potter's Realtors a call at 995-2115. You can Facebook us, you can tweet us, and we can make it happen. We enjoy working with the community, so when you come with the Potters, you got the Potter Group. You have Potter's Insurance, and you have Potter's Realtors. We also handle notary service, faxing. In the next 3 months, we look to open up the Collins Potter Mortgage Company back up. So you can do everything in one stop. So right now, we're going to come back to this. We're going over to that sports guy, Ed. Take it away, Ed.
Good afternoon, everybody, or good evening, and welcome to the sports segment of the show. The first thing I want to say is today was the deadline for taxes. Now, if you haven't had your taxes done yet, it's not too late. If you owe money, then they're going to probably penalize you if you don't get it in by the night. But if you don't owe money, then there won't be no penalty when you file your taxes. Because you know how it is. If you owe money, if they owe you money, they never want to give it to you. If they owe you, they want you to give it to them right now. All right, if you need them taxes done, come over and see me at our new location, 2605 North Broom Street, or if you need some insurance, come over and see Charles. Start off with local news tonight. The University of Delaware women's golf team won or captured its first Colonial Athletic Association championship in school history. Congratulations to the team and continued success. Also, senior Andy Slane successfully defended her individual title. She is just the second CAA woman golfer to win multiple conference titles. Good luck to that championship team and continued success in the future. The NHL. The Flyers started the playoffs in a 0-2 hole. They lost the first two games to the Washington Capitals, and they're playing tonight in Philly. It is imperative that the Flyers win tonight's game if they have any chance of winning the series. If they go down 0-3, that would be certain doom. Good luck to the Flyers. The game should be starting right about now. Hopefully, they'll do well. In the Eastern Conference in the NHL playoffs, the New York Islanders lead or are tied with Florida 1-1. Tampa Bay is 2-1 over Detroit. Washington is 2-0 at Philly. Pittsburgh is leading they're tied with New York 1-1. Western Conference, Dallas leads Minnesota 2-0. St. Louis leads Chicago 2-1. Nashville's leading 1-0 over Anaheim. And the San Jose Sharks are leading Los Angeles 2-0. Okay, in baseball, the season is upon us. And after a slow start, the Phillies are showing some promise. This guy named Vince Velasquez striked out 16 in the Phillies win. A young pitcher, this is pretty good for that team. The Phillies have won 6 of their last 9 games. Maybe they're better than we expected them to be. I wonder. The Baltimore Orioles right now have the best record in baseball in the American League, in the American League, they're 8-3. The Washington Nationals have the best record in baseball at 9-2. The surprising Chicago Cubs are 9-3. They look pretty good, and many people have picked Chicago to win it all this year, and I don't know, they look pretty good. Well, me and Charles and the New York Yankees just came off a 4-game skid. They won last night 4-3 over the Mariners, but I think they still need some hitters in order to be in the mix this year. Baltimore looks pretty daggone good. NFL draft is upon us, and the LA Rams gave up 6 picks to the Tennessee Titans to move into the number 1 spot. That's just plain crazy if you ask me. I would not do that because you don't know what you're going to get. The player you might get at number 1 might be a bust. Here's the draft order, first 10 picks. Number 1, LA Rams. Number 2, the Cleveland Browns. 3, San Diego Chargers. 4, the Dallas Cowboys. 5, Jacksonville Jaguars. 6, Baltimore Ravens. 7, San Francisco 49ers. 8, Philadelphia Eagles. 9, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And 10, the New York Giants. That means there's 3 people in our division that's going to pick in the top 10. Good luck. NBA playoffs are upon us. And Steph Curry hurt his ankle the other day. And this is the only thing that other teams can really have, scratch and claw at, because to me, the Golden State Warriors are the best team I've ever seen. They're playing some of the greatest ball I've ever seen. And when I say that, I'm saying they play as a complete team. Not just one individual stops that show. Everybody gets to the mix from their bench to their starters. That's why I believe they're going to win the back-to-back titles. I don't think any team is going to beat them in a 7-game series because they're just too daggone good. You can hope that Stephen Curry is hurt, but I still don't think that he's hurt that bad where they won't win it all again and march on to the title. You might beat them a couple games, but you're not going to beat them in a 7-game series. Okay, I also talked about the Cleveland Cavaliers winning the Eastern Conference. And I watched Cleveland, and they struggled against Detroit the other day. And, I think that Cleveland has a very good chance to win. But I also watched the Miami Heat the other day. The Miami Heat all of a sudden looked very, very good. After their additions of Luol Deng from Chicago, Joe Johnson from the Nets, and Winslow from the former NCAA champ Duke University team, they look very, very good. Don't be surprised if the Miami Heat does not come out of the East and upset Cleveland Cavaliers. Could happen because they looked daggone good the other night. When I saw them, they blew away the team that they faced. They just blew them away. They blew away the Hornets, 123-91, 42-point victory. I'm talking about awesome. So Golden State is playing tonight. The Spurs look pretty good. They blew away their team. Cleveland right now leads Detroit 1-0. Indiana leads Toronto. They went in Toronto, upset Toronto in the first game. I believe they play tonight. Toronto better win that game tonight, or else Indiana's going to sweep them out the door. Miami's leading Chicago Charlotte 1-0. Atlanta leads Boston 1-0. Boston's another team you got to look at. They look like they could be world beaters one time. Now, I watched them a couple of weeks ago as they went into Golden State and upset Golden State. Then they turn around and they'll lose a game to somebody, to a lowest team in the league. You don't know what team you're going to get. One minute you might get the best team. They beat the best team in the league. The next time they losing to the worst team. You don't know what you're going to get out of them. Golden State is leading Houston 1-0. San Antonio beat the heck out of Memphis. They lead in that series 1-0. Oklahoma City blasted Dallas. They lead that series 1-0. And the Clippers beat Portland last night. They lead in that series 1-0. In closing, I want to say that the Boston Marathon was run today, and 2 Ethiopians was crowned men and women's champions. You know, they seem to be able to run, a lot longer than other people. They're very good runners, and congratulations to them. And we're going to ready to take it back over to Charles, and we're going to take a short break and go back over to Charles. Good night, everybody, and have a good evening.
So, Ed, we gave you more time. What happened?
I ran out of sports talk. But you know what?
What?
I really want to talk about how I'm shocked about the Phillies.
You are.
Yeah, because they had lost their first 4 games, and then they come storming back. You know, this guy, Velasquez, when he struck out the 16 players, I'm saying,
A
wow.
Philly pitcher?
Yes.
Oh man, something's happening to Philly then.
Well, they won. They beat the Nats last night, and the Nats got the best record in the league. So they was 9-1 before the Phillies beat them last night.
So when next week comes, you can't ask for more time, right?
Right.
Okay.
I'm good.
So, before we dive in, we're going to be taking some calls. You guys see the number has just flashed on your screen. We're going to be taking some calls to hear from the community about
The election's
The
coming, the
election's
presidential
coming up.
election. But before that,
But before that,
so we can pull the number down just for 1 minute. We'll bring it right back. But go ahead.
So we want to send a special congratulations to a very special individual, in my opinion. My husband, Mr. Thomas White. He's doing amazing things in his business. He is an entrepreneur. He's doing amazing things. As I mentioned before, here he is in Memphis, Tennessee, where he received a Soaring Eagle Award,
Wow.
which is a very, very accomplished award. This shows that you've done major things in your business. And he's definitely moving up the ranks. He's empowering people to think outside of the box and take their business and their lives to the next level. So he's showing people how to not just rely on a 9-to-5, but to actually build residual income in the background, because how many people know you want to fix your roof while the sun is out? Ain't no
right.
sense
That's
in
right.
waiting on the storm.
That's right.
And so I just want to send another congratulations to Mr. Thomas White. If you need to get in contact with him because you're looking to build residual income or want another stream of income, then reach him on Facebook. His handle on Facebook is Tom White. It's just like that. And so Tom White from Delaware. That's how he would tell you.
Well, don't
So-
hold up. I got to say
Wait
something
a
about
minute, I'm
Thomas.
gonna say something
Hold
too.
up, no.
Because I think it's truly amazing at what he's doing because
Yes.
of the devastating injury that he had. And
That's correct.
I've been asking my good friend about him because I was kind of worried about him because
Right.
he had a devastating injury.
How many years
and
ago was
that's-
that?
That was 3.5 years ago, and you wouldn't know it, but he's still in recovery.
But God is good. Look
That's
at
right,
Thomas.
God is good.
And
Four
could you put that
surgeries.
picture back up? I want to talk about my good friend. Look at him right there, Thomas. He's a true entrepreneur. He's an honest guy, hard worker.
Good fighter, man. He fights.
Even during my down times, he came in and lifted me up. He did. When all that drama was going on over some lies about my family, and it was unfounded, nothing was true. He came and he pepped me up, talked to me, and he's just a fighter. I said, your last name must be Potter. Because we're fighters. But Thomas, congratulations. But before Ed goes, tell me just some of the products, things that he sells so people know what they're getting into.
Right. So we're actually both certified travel agents. Behind every strong man is
There
a
you
strong
go.
woman.
Okay.
And so we're both certified, so I'm able to assist him with booking travel. But he also,
Okay.
like I said, helps people in building residual income. So he builds a business behind that. But they've just launched at their leadership conference new products where they're actually to help people save money on residual bills that they pay. If your money's not residual, but your bills are, then you probably have an issue that you need to take a look at. Because you know your bills come every 30 days, right? So your
right.
money should come every 30 days. And
right.
most people find that they have more a month than they have money. So you have to be able to find ways, new and inventive ways, because times are changing, on how you can supplement that. And so the company that he is with is called Paycation Travels, and he's doing dynamic things in Delaware. I'm telling you, Delaware will never be the same since he really broke ground here. He's been in the network marketing industry for the last 4.5, going on 5 years, and so he knows his stuff. And let me
You
tell
sound like you happy.
I am.
Oh, okay.
Because he can get you a paycheck. Let me tell you, if he can't do nothing else, he can get you paid.
That's good. That's real good. Because a lot of people I think a lot of people don't know how to budget their money.
Yeah,
Right.
Right.
that's true.
And they'll overspend because they'll look at one thing and they be trying to buy something that they don't have the money for.
Right.
And they overspend, and then they find themselves in trouble, and that's why they can't pay their bills here or can't pay their bills there. And they'll get in trouble doing that. And I think if you sit down and you write out a budget, just write down all your bills that you have, and then go over your paycheck.
Right.
And then you'll see exactly where you stand with your bills and what you can afford, what you cannot afford. Because
Right.
too many people are going out buying things that they can't afford, like these new cars. Because
Yeah.
right now, they'll give you any car you want.
Well,
you know-
yeah, it's like they buy what they want and not what they need.
What they need,
But
right.
Right.
exactly.
But you know, I also believe that we've been taught how to survive, but not necessarily how to thrive. So it is possible to get the things that you want, but like you said, Ed, you have to plan properly and know that you can't afford it right now, but put some things in position so that eventually you can afford it.
Right.
You know, so it's about planning in addition to living within your means at the present
Exactly.
time.
I think another thing is that people don't want to work for what they get. A lot of
You're right
people
about
think
that.
things should be given to you, and
That's
I don't
true.
believe in things being given to you because as an entrepreneur myself, I had a paper route when I was like 8 years old.
Okay.
I had 2 of them when I was 9. I had 3 when I was 10. A lot of people don't remember that, but we used to have the daily news, the morning news,
Yes,
the evening
we did.
news, and the Sunday Journal. And I had all 3 of those routes at one point. And I used to take my brothers with me. They used to help me deliver the papers, and I would go and buy them hot dogs and hamburgers and stuff, and then I kept them with me in the mix.
Incentivizing, huh?
That's exactly right. And I've been working hard my entire life. And in order for you to achieve some of the goals that you want, you must work hard, because nobody is going to give you anything. Nobody's going to walk up to you and say, here go $1 million just
I
because I,
got
like
some
you.
hot news though from the mayor's debate. This is Cal Brown reporting in. He said contention between the mayor and Theo, and I believe Przicki, too astute for audience to appreciate. This is Cal. Cabrera's doing great. That's his report. This is my report. Then Ty reports in, says a lot of tension between the mayor and Theo Gregory, but Eugene Young is a crowd pleaser. Cabrera is making the most sense and resonating with the audience. So that's hot right from the mayor's debate taking place right now from 2 of our hosts and reporters, Reverend Ty and Reverend Cal. So it must be pretty heated there going on in that debate. Now, and I do have a announcement. Am I supposed to read this, Deneen, or are you supposed to read it?
I think I'm supposed to, because I heard your
Well, you know how
eyes.
to, you got to get that going.
So there's a job fair for those of you who are in the market for a job. There's a job fair at the Philadelphia airport on this Tuesday, April 19th from 10 a.m. to 3
That's
p.m.
tomorrow, isn't it?
No.
Yes, April 19th
Is
is
it?
tomorrow.
That's tomorrow.
It
Right?
is tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well,
Today is the
time's
18th.
moving.
Today is tax
So
day.
tomorrow there's a job fair. So where is it at again?
And that's at the Philadelphia airport tomorrow, April 19th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And that's at the Leocor Center. I said the Philadelphia airport. It's the Leocor Center.
That's part of Temple University?
It is.
Okay. Right. I know where
And so
that's
they're
at.
located, if I can see this right, it's 1776.
I'm going to give her my glasses.
I did just get a new prescription, so let's see. 1776 North Broad Street in Philadelphia, PA. So definitely bring your resumes, go out, network, and see what you can find. Opportunities are definitely there.
Let's put up the number, and if you want to call in and just briefly say who you support, whether it's Hillary or whether it's Bernie Sanders, I'd like to get an idea of what's going on out there, if I can remember how this is going. If Ivan would put the number up, And if you're out there and if you're a big Hillary supporter, just call in and say Hillary, call in and say Bernie. If you want to say a few words, we take a few words. But sound like it's pretty heated down there at the mayor's debate, huh? Yeah.
Yes.
Leo and I guess everybody's fighting for.
I
But
got
there's been some
my good friend Kelly is running for mayor, and I've been knowing this guy for many years. We used to play basketball together, and he's a good friend of mine. Good luck to him because I think he's a very good guy.
You played on the same team with him?
No, we played against each other.
Against each other? Okay.
Yeah, man, many times.
Now, with this light of green, I'm trying to remember. I do a test. Okay. All right. But sound like it's pretty heated down there, and I think the things that you got to look at is what condition do you think our city is in?
Right.
What is the policing doing? And right now I think we're in pretty bad shape. What about the jobs, the economic condition, where the businesses are fleeing? You're a realtor now, which we want to get you over to Potter Realtors at some date and time. But what real estate company are you with?
I'm with Keller Williams.
Have you noticed so many sale signs around ever before when you go through the city?
It's a ton. The market is saturated with an inventory. And actually, I was looking at the statistics on the number of houses and transactions that have happened from month to month in comparison to what's happened in the previous year. And they're very close to what was taking place in 2007.
Is that
and
right?
we know what was happening in the market
Yeah,
in 2007. So houses are selling, lenders are loosening their requirements,
Great.
people are getting pre-approved. I mean, it's a hot time right now. And this is the market typically where we make most of our money anyway.
Yes. Yeah. So, if I could, I don't think I'm going to be able to use this phone tonight, but Ed, you were at the event on Sunday with Michael Nutter. What do you think?
Well, I think he has some very interesting points to say about it, because he was a very good mayor in my opinion. This city, I think, has been doing pretty bad, because the current mayor, he said he's going to stop the violence, and it escalated when he got in. He hasn't been doing anything right. He says that he's going to have these cameras out here, but he's got nobody manning the cameras. What good are the cameras out there if nobody's manning them? And the city's just been in a lot of disarray. And then you see a lot of the houses. I see a lot of houses when I'm riding around the city that's boarded up. That's a bad sign, because a lot of people, are getting robbed in the city, and all kinds of craziness is going on. So, I don't know how the next mayor is going to come in and clean it up, but it looks pretty bad right now.
But I'm going to tell you what, we're going to fix these problems because that's any problem is an everybody problem. Wilmington is a beautiful place.
It really
It
is.
is.
It's a beautiful place. We need some tender love and care,
Right.
and we need to all work together and get things on the right track. From the state end, we've been providing all the money. Anytime the city asks for money, whether it's for economic development, whether it's for police, whether it's for youth centers, we've been doing that. So the state, we have been doing our part, and they need to step up to the plate and do their part. We got about another 10 minutes left, and so what I want to do, next week we'll talk more about politics, because I got to get used to this phone again.
But Charles,
Yeah.
isn't the New York primaries tomorrow?
The New York
Right.
primaries tomorrow, and
That's a big thing.
Very important.
That's a big thing.
What do you
for,
think?
I like, to be honest with you, I like Hillary because to me, she's probably the best candidate out there that can do something for this country. Could you imagine Donald Trump being in there?
I can imagine that. Can you imagine Donald Trump?
Absolutely not.
This cat can't even keep a
Absolutely not.
he
That's
can't
a
even keep a
nightmare
clear
itself.
conversation about any subject.
But if he was anybody else, the way he talks about women, the way he talks about different cultures and things like that, if it was one of us, they would have been taking us
Taking
off
us
the
out.
stage.
What was that with him mimicking Eric Gardner?
Oh man, I don't even. It's so sickening. It's
was
unbelievable.
very
And he whines.
sickening.
He whines all the time about, now he's whining about, the delegates are fixed and this is fixed and that's fixed. He whines too much, man. Go on, man, and just take your lickings like
He's
a
not a
man,
leader.
and
He's
he's not a
definitely
leader.
not who we
Because a
want for
leader,
this country.
if our leaders today, they come out and they talk like leaders. They
Right.
lead the country like leaders.
Right.
They don't have skirmishes at their rallies.
Right.
This guy, everywhere he goes, there's something that's dramatic
drama.
that's happening.
There's a lot of drama. And
And
see,
do we
Hillary's
want
way
a president
above
like that in the office? Can you imagine? Everywhere he goes, there's protesters, fights, people punching each other, grabbing each other, pulling each other, all kinds of crazy mess going on with this guy. Do you want that?
Well,
Do
he
you want
brings that to the table because he thinks that he can say anything that he wants. In my opinion, when he says, let's make America better again, he's talking about let's go back to slavery. That's what I hear.
I agree
Let's
with
make
that.
it back better again. America is great. Gas is only what, $2?
$2.09 now for premium.
Average.
You know,
When
I'm
Bush
you know,
was in there-
we doing real good if you ask me. The country is not that bad off. I think Obama is doing a fantastic
He's doing a
job
great
for the
job. He's done an
country.
awesome job.
But he can't fix the individual cities like this city. This city has problems that need to be fixed.
Right.
And if I don't think that Dennis is going to win again because he just hasn't fulfilled any of his promises. I just don't think he's doing a very good job. So the city needs somebody that's going to be strong, that's going to go in there and try to fix some of these problems and work with the community leaders so we can get these problems fixed.
Yep. And I'm going to be telling you around July, I'm going to tell you who I'm going to be supporting. It's going to be big news. So I'm going to tell people who I'm going to be supporting. I haven't made no decision on anybody yet. Running my race. Okay. And we're not going to ask Deneen who she's going to be supporting. But down the line, it's going to be big news.
I'm going to ask Charles, when
Are the women?
Charles,
Yes.
when are you going to run
Run what?
for mayor, man? Come on, man.
Everybody wants to know.
People been
Look,
asking
your
me
wife,
this, look.
your wife, I support your wife 100%,
look,
and I
look,
want to see
look,
her as the state treasurer.
See, you got me. This is the first time my mouth is shut. No, but I'm happy to serve as your voice in Dover. I sit on the bond bill committee, which is a major committee which puts a lot of money into the state. I'm currently chairing the port expansion, which will bring 17,000 jobs. That's a huge hurdle.
It is.
And
We
I
need
gotta
that
get
bad.
done. That's jobs for throughout Delaware. I'm also working on revamping education for the city and the state with WEAC. So those are two heavy lifts that
It
I
is
got to
very.
get done. In the meantime, so I'm focused on that. I want to be at the table. So when things had to be made in Dover, because if I was to come down to the mayor level, I would have to go up and ask all these people for money. I'm already up here at the table, so when there's help needed, I can get the help we need. So that's what.
Yeah, another thing, we need to develop some programs for these young men and women in the streets to keep them off the streets. Maybe something that give them some kind of opportunity where they can learn some skills, so that they give them some kind of outlet, so that they can grow as a person and be productive members of society. Because right
Absolutely.
now we got too many of them that's in jail, and when they come out of jail, they got to go right back to the same thing that sent them there, because they have no programs to push them in another direction.
Well, there are a lot of programs, but I think, like, Deneen's a good mother. We were good mothers and fathers to our children, and you to yours, where you don't wait and let the government dictate to you what you should do. You take your children to the library, to soccer, to
right.
basketball, to mentoring, to different events. And when people just sit back and wait, well, the government's not doing enough. Hey, we've done a lot without the government all our life. What do you think?
I totally agree. Parents need to take their children by the hand and guide them into safe environments and be
Right.
available to
Right.
them.
Or give them
Spend
some
time.
Spend
or
some time
give them some
with them. I
some
mean,
type
just
of
start
motivation.
there.
Right.
Give them some type of motivation where they can can achieve some kind of goals in life.
Yeah,
You
the children that have the most trouble are the ones who like structure the most. They want somebody to tell them what to do and sit them down and give them structure and give them the rules, and they really do want that. But you just have to understand that it's not. You have to be consistent. Okay,
That's
it's
right.
not optional. You can't just decide, he got an F, so we're going to be hard for the first week or two and then kind of fall off on week
Right.
3. No, you got to be consistent with these children. They
Right.
need to know that you got their back regardless of what you're going through personally, because these adults have so many different issues going on.
That's
They're
right.
popping pills. They're at the club.
they
They're
are.
doing whatever they want to do.
That's
you
the
know?
problem. That's the
Yeah.
problem.
They're not
And
spending
so
time with these
they're not
children.
spending
they don't
time
have
with
they don't
them.
have too many
Blame it.
father figures or too many positive figures in their life where they can lead these kids. And that's another big thing. These kids need somebody they can look up to, somebody who's going to lead them in the right direction.
Well, they should
towards
look up to their
success.
parents first.
First.
Parents
Exactly.
should be home. If you rear a child, you fathers out there and so-called men who's supposed to be men, you should be right there with the woman that you had a child with to make sure that child grows up to be productive and to be in their life. And to get away with throw all those excuses out the way that I can't do this, I can't do that. Quit spending all the time in jail. Quit trying to run the hustles. Get a job. It's tough out here. You can work. You can become an entrepreneur. I had 2 degrees. I went to Indiana University, went out to Indiana. and I just thought I was all this big stuff, right? I had a bachelor's in business, associates in computer programming. When the job market was tight out there, guess what I did? I drove a truck.
That's right.
It's about survival.
That's right.
Then I started tutoring in the evenings. I tutored chess and accounting to the Indiana basketball players and football players to get their analytic skills together. You have to do what you have to do.
Charles, I
right.
worked at Domino's, man. I delivered
Did you?
pizzas, man. I did what I had to do, man. When I didn't have nothing, man, I had to. When I first started working at Dart, I worked part-time. And in the middle of the day, I delivered pizzas.
Well, when I got
that's
out of
what I had to
college,
do.
working through college, guess what I did? I sold vacuum cleaners.
Yeah, that's
I sold Kirby's. Back then, guess what? They were $750. I used to sell 2 or 3 a week, and I made my living.
Right.
you
So
did what
I
you
had to do what I had to do.
That's
you know
right.
what I did when I was growing up, and I asked the Lord. I said to the Lord a couple things. First of all, let me understand your word. Ask to keep me healthy and strong, and let me, based on my ability, earn as much money as I can on my ability. And He has allowed me to do that. Now your turn.
My turn. I mean, I've done a lot of things. I'm
I
an
know.
entrepreneur by heart. You
Yes.
know, I've been an entrepreneur all of my adult life, and
Right.
so I'm always thinking up something. And, you know, it sounds cliche, but where there's a will, there's a way. You know, it's so true. So if you have to be willing to do something, you know, to supplement your income, you know, if you're not getting the hours at your work, then go out and cut a lawn or two.
Do what you got to do.
You know, do what you got to do
To make money, to make your
ends meet.
fam- right, to make-
Money
to make
is
your
being
family
transferred.
survive.
When they talk about depression or recession or anything like that, money is always being transferred. It's just not being transferred to you.
That's right.
Because you're not doing what you got to do. You got to get in the way of the money. And there's so many different ways to do it.
And let me say one more thing. I know we got 2 minutes. You know what's sickening? When you go into the stores and you see a lot of people coming, young, black, white, women, men, and the first thing they calling, they got these little packages with these little, look like cigarettes. Give me pineapple, give me grape, give me this. And you know what they're getting them for, to go out there and smoke. Quit getting high. We're not going to hire you. We know when you're high. You know, don't do that. You don't have to do that. Do something else. Save that money.
A lot
But
of them,
then
Charles-
you better close us out.
A lot
because
of them, Charles,
we're gonna
Yeah,
get
don't
because
to
it
remember.
sound like
You
y'all
gotta
ready
take
to
a,
go
you gotta take a
now.
drug test for most jobs these
You
days,
got to
man.
take
You
a
gotta
drug
take a drug
test, and we
test.
do
man.
random tests. So don't sit there and say, "Woe is me! I got high and they got rid
Yeah, I
of me."
smoke
You know
weed.
that going in.
They
And-
got 13 and 14-year-olds that can't pass their drug test
Right.
to get jobs in the summer for the summer
right.
program.
Are they smoking weed?
Right.
So you want to close us out because I'm
Absolutely. I told you guys that this was going to be an interesting show, did I? So we promise to bring you news that you can use. We promise to keep you entertained in the process. And we hope that we did our job for you this week. We will be back with you on next week from 8 to 9. Same bat channel, same bat cave, as Nicole DeSarette would say. The replay of this show will be played on this Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. So make sure that you catch it or share it on YouTube with your friends and family.
And that's the
Bottom line.